friends, happy Tuesday. Today we're going to have a read aloud story. We are going to review our sign language for the word make, and we are going to check in with Mrs. W. She has a really cool activity that you guys can be doing from home. So let's begin with our read aloud, and we are going to be reading Randy Riley's Really Big Hit. There's Randy Riley right there. This is by Chris Van Dusen, one of my favorite children's authors. So here we go. Randy Riley's Really Big Hit. Telescope, a bat, a baseball. Randy Riley stood at bat. He gazed out at the mound. His knees began to tremble. His heart began to pound. Then Randy started thinking about the pitcher's throw. He wondered, without gravity, how far the ball would go. And as he stood there pondering, strike three went whizzing by. "You're out!" he heard the umpire call, then walked off with a sigh. See, Randy was a genius. He just couldn't hit the ball. He struck out every time at bat. He wasn't good at all. But something beyond baseball brought a smile to Randy's face. What Randy Riley really loved was stuff from outer space. He studied all the planets, he memorized their tilt, he researched how the thrusters on rocket ships were built. He knew the constellations and the light years to the stars, and wouldn't it be great, he thought, to ride a bike on Mars? When Randy Riley got back home, he went up to his room. He knew he stunk at baseball, and it filled his heart with gloom. So he took his favorite robot from the shelf above his bed and staged a game of baseball with his robot team instead. That night before he went to sleep, Randy scanned the sky, and through his Spaceboy telescope, a glimmer caught his eye. He fiddled with the focus till he saw it crystal clear. It was a massive fireball, and it was coming near. Alarmed, he started plotting the projection of its path. He formulated diagrams. He double-checked his math. He calculated quickly and concluded with a frown. In 19 days, the fireball would crash into his town. Randy Riley flew downstairs to warn his mom and dad. The impact would be major. The damage would be bad. He explained the situation until his face was red, but they told him he was tired and they sent him off to bed. Poor Randy couldn't sleep at all. He thought the whole night through. By morning, it was obvious just what he had to do. He gathered what he needed with determined resolution. He lugged it off behind the shed to work on his solution. Randy toiled for 18 days while other kids had fun, but he was on a mission, so he worked till he was done. At breakfast on the 19th day, the news announcer said, "This is a special bulletin. Emergency. Code red. A fireball's approaching. It just flew past the moon. It's coming fast, so be prepared for it to hit by noon." Everybody burst outside as fear and panic grew, but Randy ran back to the shed. He had a job to do. He grabbed the tarp and gave a tug. It slid off to reveal the mighty mammoth robot man he'd welded out of steel. The robot needed power, and Randy knew precisely that 97 batteries would energize it nicely. The eyes lit up, the engine whirred. Step one was now complete. So far, so good, thought Randy. Then he thundered down the street. Step two of Randy's mission took place just south of town, in the section known as Millville, where he slowed the robot down. The robot ripped the smokestack off an old abandoned mill. Then Randy turned the throttle knob. to march him up the hill. Back in town, the people were as frightened as could be, but Randy knew the time had come for critical step 3. The robot burst out through the trees, stepped up and took a stance, while everyone fell silent as if frozen in a trance. Randy's eye was on the ball, no room for error now. 3, 2, 1, and flip the switch. A swoosh, and then kapow! A blinding flash, a booming crash. He knew what he had done. Randy Riley had a hit, his very first home run. The fireball sailed out of sight, a rousing cheer began. Hooray for Randy Riley and his giant metal man! And as the crowd went crazy, Randy stood there with a grin and mumbled, how predictable, a fastball, low and in. When things returned to normal after Randy saved the day, he went back to the baseball field to join his friends at play. And though he swings in earnest, he rarely hits the ball. But that's okay, 'cause Randy's had the biggest hit of all. The end. What did you guys think of Randy Riley? That was really cool. Okay, so we're going to review the sign for make, because Mrs. W is going to show you guys how to make something really cool. So you're going to take your 2 fists, kind of like this woman here. I'll show you guys this. You're just going to so make. So Mrs. W is going to make something really cool. You guys can practice your saying language for the word make. So here is Mrs. W with a very special activity you guys can be doing from home. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hi friends, Mrs. W here, and today we're going to make raisins dance. Let's see if it works. You'll need a glass that's clear, a clear bottle of soda. It can be ginger ale or club soda, but it has to be something that you can see through. We're going to fill the glass about halfway with soda, and then we're going to take some raisins, and we are going to throw the raisins in the glass of soda. And we get dancing raisins. Can you see them? So you need a glass, some raisins, and some clear soda, and you can make your own dancing raisins. Stay safe, friends. I'll be looking for some new fun activities to share with you. Bye.